Okay, good evening lads and welcome back to another video. AFC Joe here. I wasn't originally planning on making this video today, but I've given into the pressure to upload and we're going to be talking about Arsenal's 1-0 win over Manchester City. Yes, you heard that right, people. Now, you guys should know the drill by now. You like, you subscribe, otherwise your team is going to get relegated this season. So, going into the game, Arsenal had some problems. Bukayo Saka was out, Gabriel Martinelli could only make the bench, and after seeing Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Jesus as our kind of winger pairing, I was worried that we'd lack pace on the transition. And during that first half, we were very, very limited going forward, with Arsenal failing to create any chances of note. We were also pretty lucky not to go behind in the first half, with Nathan Ake coming very, very close early on, and David Raya also nearly gifting Julian Alvarez a goal as well. And I have to say, I thought that David Raya looked a bit shaky in that first half, with his distribution being massively off. Overall, I thought that the first half was a pretty cagey affair with limited goalmouth actions on both sides. But going into half-time, the football was not the main talking point, but the main talking point was actually whether Mateo Kovacic should have been on or off the field. My personal take on it is that he should have been sent off. I think that he should have been sent off after the first one, actually. We've obviously seen Malo Gusto and Curtis Jones be sent off for somewhat similar challenges. And personally, I would argue that the Kovacic tackle was actually worse because he slid in, whereas Curtis Jones last week kind of slipped over the ball a little bit and then caught, I think it was Basuma or Sarr, I can't remember. In the end, Kovacic only ended up seeing a yellow card for that tackle. And shortly after being very, very lucky to stay on, he took out Declan Rice, probably the most yellow card tackle I've ever seen in my life. And somehow, Michael Oliver decided to let him off the hook. I'm not going to go off on a big rant about corruption or whatever, but it would be nice if there was a bit more consistency with English referees. So, we go into that second half where Gabriel Martinelli came on for Leandro Trossard, who I thought had a pretty poor game out on that left-hand side. And to be honest, I thought that the second half was pretty similar to the first. Goalmouth action was very, very limited once again. But 4 minutes from time, Gabriel Martinelli hit a shot. It went off Ake, I think it was, and he sent the Emirates, as well as the pub that I was in, into complete carnage. And then after that, there was only one way that the game was going to end. City didn't really provide much of a threat afterwards. Haaland failed the William Saliba test once more, and we move up to second place, level on points with Tottenham. Overall, I have to say that I thought the game was a 0-0 game. We ended up getting a little bit lucky with the deflected goal, but we take it. First win in the league against Man City in nearly 8 years, I think. And I just hope that we finally got rid of that mental blockade that we seem to have in recent years against Manchester City. Looking at the bigger picture, I think that we can be happy with how the season has gone so far. After 8 games, we've got 6 wins, 2 draws, sitting level on points with Tottenham, despite the fact that we've not exactly set the world alight. I'm just hoping that this season we end up peaking later on, just like City did last season, and like they probably will do again this year. We've still got Jurrien Timber to come back from his injury. We've missed Gabriel Martinelli for the past few games. We lost Declan Rice in that Tottenham game. So all I'm saying is really that we shouldn't be getting fooled by some fairly average performances in the first few games. There's still plenty of football to be played between now and the end of the season. Moving forward, we've now got the international break, the dreaded international break, and then afterwards we face Chelsea away in what I think will be a tougher game than a lot of people will be expecting. Chelsea have started to get a run of results together. It's a London derby, they're at home, under the lights, they're going to be well up for it, and I think it's going to be a very, very tough game for us. So there we have it, people. That is the end of the video. Make sure that you do, of course, like and subscribe. You know what happens if you don't. And as I always say, thank you for your support. As always, I will be back with more football content, so make sure that you are staying tuned for that. In a bit then, lads.